Okay, so this has been burning on social media for the past couple of hours. I want to say about the past 6 hours. Shout out to Ticket TV. It seems like everyone has this, you know, situation has picked up a lot of steam, and it's concerning Cris Carter. Now, for those who've been living under a rock, allow your boy to explain. Cris Carter, a phenomenal NFL receiver, was transitioning from playing in the NFL to broadcasting, had a great broadcasting career, was on several different networks, the NFL Network, ESPN, but he really started building a foundation over there at Fox Sports 1, and he was one of the hosts alongside Nick Wright, First Things First, back when First Things First was a morning show. And, this was a very popular show. Back in the early days of Fox Sports 1 when they had First Things First in the morning, then they had Undisputed with Skip and Shannon, and then they had the Herd Show, and Speak for Yourself, tied it all in. Now, I felt like that era was the best era of Fox Sports 1. And, Cris Carter was making his rounds when it was announced that Fox Sports was going to have a new broadcaster for the NFL package over there at Fox Sports. Cris Carter thought that he had the inside track of doing football for Fox Sports. The powers that be at Fox Sports transitioned from Jamie and those guys to a new regime. And the new regime wasn't that impressed with Cris Carter. They chose someone else. And Cris Carter got kind of upset about that. And from what I'm hearing, an emotional outburst over there at Fox Sports 1's headquarters that resulted in, him losing his job, and was shown the door by security. Now, no one is talking about that particular story. Cris Carter himself hasn't even talked about this story. He's keeping it under the rug, keeping it, icy hot. Just not really talking about what transpired those final days at Fox Sports 1. But that's neither here nor there. And I felt like, and I done a video on this, and I felt like Cris Carter sort of kind of got a bad rap about that. Yeah, in the heat of the moment, he probably lost control and said some things and did some things that resulted in him getting terminated. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have gotten terminated. I just felt like, if anything, they should have suspended him and put him on a final straw type of thing. And if something else happens later on down the road, then you fire him and then let go of him. And it kind of left First Things First, in a holding pattern until they, got Chris Broussard to pair up with Nick Wright. And First Things First is a solid show, transitioning from the morning to the afternoon, still getting the ratings and things of that nature. They just seem like they never lost a beat or lost a step with the exit stage left of Cris Carter. And I felt like, and I still feel like Cris Carter, got a, bad rap. But, I wasn't in the room. I don't know what he said. I don't know what he did. But, this new story sheds a lot of light on why they didn't give him a second chance. He was on this podcast, and I look at the podcast, I look at the YouTube channel, and their most popular video is him talking about Skip Bayless. If you're a content creator on whatever platform, if you haven't done a video on Skip Bayless, then I don't know what you're doing, all right? And Skip Bayless is the hot button topic, particularly on social media, particularly in YouTube. Food for thought. If you want to make a, if you want to do content, just talk about Skip Bayless, particularly in this period, him being let go by Fox Sports 1, or he let go of Fox Sports 1, either or. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't I don't have a horse in the race. But he said something on this podcast, on this YouTube channel, and he's co-hosting with someone else. And he talked about a time in a story about Skip Bayless and talked about he almost punched him in the face and yada, yada, yada. To me, this sort of, I get a true understanding on why Fox Sports 1 let go of Cris Carter. Because from this story and, his exit from Fox Sports 1, it kind of makes sense why they were not playing around with Cris Carter. I never known and never knew that Cris Carter had a short fuse, and I didn't know. Now he's kind of a little emotional. And the thing about Cris Carter is, even though I still feel like, even with all this newfound information, I still feel like Cris Carter got a bad rap about that situation. But to me, I understand why Fox Sports 1 made the decision that they made. And I even said in that video, this new regime had no connection with Cris Carter. The old regime had a connection with Cris Carter. And when they left and this new regime left, everybody had to start all over and, rebuild their relationships. And secondly, Cris Carter, he's, talking about Skip Bayless, and he can do whatever he wants to do. He's a grown man. But to me, he talked more about Skip Bayless, about why he don't like Skip Bayless and this incident with Skip Bayless, more so than his termination at Fox Sports 1. And to me, if you're not going to tell the whole story, don't say nothing at all. That's just my rule of thumb. If you're not going to talk about why you're no longer at a corporation, but you want to talk about the employees that been in this organization a lot longer or still at the organization, and you want to give us hindsight of what the goings on at this organization, why you don't like this person, why you don't like that person, and why this person gets a longer leash than other people, and yada, 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 when you don't even want to talk about what transpired with your own relationship at that organization, it kind of raised a lot of eyebrows. Now, at the end of the day, I still feel like Cris Carter got the short end of the stick of that thing, but at the same time, I understand why Fox Sports 1 made the decision what they made, and to me, Cris Carter was ramping up at Fox Sports 1. All right. But yeah, Ticket TV talked about it. He did a video. Go check out his channel. You want to hear the rest about that story. But it's just, to me, everyone's piling on Skip Bayless. And Skip Bayless does deserve the criticism. I'm not saying he shouldn't, that he doesn't deserve it. And, you got Marcellus Wiley, who talks briefly about why he's no longer at Fox Sports 1. He talked about it briefly, and he's kind of doing some word salad, some word play, some, instead of just being straight and honest and upfront. I remember him talking about saying, well, at the end of the day, I made a lot of money, and I'm still making money from Fox Sports 1. That's fine and dandy. If you want to, if that's your belief, then that's what you believe. But don't get it twisted and confused when someone else gets fired or get let go of. Don't have all this insight on why this person is a terrible person and this person deserved to get fired, and you understand why this person no longer works there, when you don't want to talk about when you got let go of. And Cris Carter is doing the exact same thing. And to me, the bigger picture is, people are not even talking about the fall from grace Cris Carter has taken in his career. He was at the highest of heights as an NFL, superstar, transitioning into a superstar in the making, in the broadcasting and in the media, and got let go of, and he has never bounced back. Everyone gets a bounce back. All right, no matter what y'all think about Stephen A. Smith gotten a layup by Skip Bayless and has never looked back. And he is bouncing back better than ever. He's the highest paid sports analyst or sports influencer or sports media personality, however y'all want to justify the titles, in all of sports media. Shannon Sharpe, who was let go by CBS, got a opportunity to work with Skip Bayless, and Skip Bayless was fighting for him. And when he got let go of Fox Sports, when Fox Sports 1 let go of Shannon Sharpe, and I'm not going to go into the details of that. I got videos archived about that. That was more of a business decision. Anywho, Shannon Sharpe bounced back phenomenal. Got a multi-million-dollar extension at ESPN, betted on himself, and won. All right? And despite what people think about Skip Bayless has been in this business for well over 40 years. And if this is his swan song, he's 72. If this is it, this is it. But, you know, everyone would love to have Skip Bayless's resume. All right? And he has bounced back. You know, is he going to bounce from this? I don't think so. He may, who knows? There's a lot of people that's talking that there's a possibility that he might return back to ESPN. I don't see that. I told you guys 2 places I see Skip Bayless. Back to radio, doing Mad Dog Sports satellite radio. That crowd fits Skip Bayless better. Or he's going to transition into this modern day sports outlet and do live streams like on Twitch or Kick or, you know, go full time on his YouTube channel, and he's going to change with the times. I don't see that either, but those are the opportunities that I see Skip Bayless doing. But nevertheless, people are getting, even the people that's getting fired are getting these opportunities, and Cris Carter has not gotten his bounce back. Okay, despite he's saying the more trivial things about Skip Bayless, everyone outside the industry is not, you know, lending a hand to get Cris Carter back into, you know, prime time or back into the elites of the elite. Stephen A. Smith ain't gave him a handout. Shannon Sharpe hasn't given him a handout. Gilbert Arenas, you know, he's killing it on YouTube, has not even given him an opportunity. Cameron and Mace has not given Cris Carter an opportunity, and it kind of lets you scratch your head. Well, we got all of these opportunities. These people doing great on podcasts and shows, but no one's given an opportunity to Cris Carter, and that speaks in volume about Cris Carter. Maybe Cris Carter is not that great to work with. Okay. Now I can understand this, Skip Bayless not giving him a lending hand. Well, Chris, when he had a job, but Cris Carter, Colin Cowherd, Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharpe, Cameron and Mace, $1 million worth of game. I mean, come on. There's a lot of us out there that's doing our thing, and no one is giving Cris Carter a break, and he's gravitating to this YouTube channel that's got less than 2,000 subscribers, and their biggest video is him talking about Skip Bayless, which is an easy layup, but nevertheless, yeah, it is definitely not looking well for Cris Carter. And to me, it just even though I feel like Cris Carter, he was kind of done wrong at Fox Sports 1, but it makes logical and perfect sense why Fox Sports 1 didn't want to give him a second chance. And maybe he was on his 5th second chance. I don't know. But it speaks in volume that no one else wants to do business with Cris Carter. And no one's talking about that. No one is talking about that. Everyone's talking more about what he said about Skip Bayless than, Cris Carter, how come you can't land a job anywhere? You got all of these co-workers and friends that are doing their thing, and they don't want to give you an opportunity. It speaks in volume about Cris Carter. It just speaks major volume about Cris Carter. And I'm a Cris Carter fan. And it's hard for me to say this, but, hey, it is what it is. But, guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. It's your boy. I'm up out of here. Deuces.